was yet another day in the line of duty for the two Indian customs officers posted at the Indo-Bangladesh border in the northeastern state of Meghalaya, till they were abducted by a group of underground insurgents.
They kept us for 17 days in various places, in rural places, in bamboo huts like that. We came back harmlessly, and before our incidents 2 months back, one of our colleagues, Mr. Jagadindu Das, Superintendent Phulaganj LCS, was killed by ultras. Our custom officials are facing so many problems and threats at LCS, like bordering areas. Still we are doing our works properly. We try to do our best effort to do our official works.
Incidents like these have hardly made any dent on the spirit of Indian customs officers. These fearless bravehearts work under very challenging circumstances. In difficult terrains, under severe threats, and yet stand tall without lowering their guard at all land frontiers, coastline, mountains, and deserts, as guardians of the economic frontiers of the nation. It is a road well traversed by Indian customs. The legacy of modern international trade can be traced back to Lothal in Gujarat, believed to be the world's first tidal dock, built almost 4,000 years ago. Customs laws and procedures also find vivid mention in Kautilya's Arthashastra. This Diwan structure, or the custom house in Pondicherry, still retains the resplendence of the business carried out by the French settlers years ago. In 1878, the British introduced the first Sea Customs Act. Indian Customs followed this act while conducting its business for another 80 years, till a new one was introduced in the year 1962. In the last few decades, the Customs Act has seen many amendments and changes, and so have customs officials in their roles. From donning the cap of being regulators to becoming facilitators, they have always discharged their duty with precision and professionalism.
Our department, under the Central Board of Excise and Customs, plays an important role in protecting the revenue and security interests of the country. The revenue collected by us, amounting to annual about rupees 3 lakh crore, continues to remain an important source of the government revenue. The department is also functioning in a very cost-effective manner. The cost of collection, which was 0.82% in 2003-04, reduced to only 0.57% in 2007-08.
Indian Customs deals with diverse concerns of national, economic, and environmental security. 72,000 dedicated professionals set remarkable precedents of outstanding performance at nearly 500 stations, consisting of international airports, seaports, land customs stations, inland container depots, and container freight stations. The free market economy brings in an overwhelming traffic of import and export cargo to facilitate international trade. Indian Customs has reduced its peak rate of duty from 300% in 1990-91 to just 10% in 2008-2009. Indian Customs has harmonized with world customs by simplifying its procedures, bringing in uniformity and transparency in assessments. Introduction of the electronic data interchange system, online filing of documents, system appraisal of shipping bills, and risk management system has significantly reduced the time of clearance of goods and unnecessary interface with the department. All import and export consignments arriving through air, sea and land are cleared on the same day of arrival. Inland container depots and container freight stations are spread across the country with a motive of bringing customs at the doorstep of importers and exporters. Several export incentive schemes have been introduced to boost exports and earn valuable foreign exchange. The Directorate General of Systems, the IT face of the organization, which makes sure that technologically, customs is at par with the rest of the world.
We'll have about a week time to fine-tune the entire work, some more training and all this. So 24th would be ideal date, sir.
Okay.
Customs also monitors the security risk parameters of the shipments arriving in the country to avert any threat to national security. Fitted with state-of-the-art mobile and relocatable scanners with highest X-ray generator capable of scanning even dense material, the scanning division takes no chance with the containers lest their worst fear comes true.
In one of the recent cases, drums of grease were imported in a container. When we screened the thing, in one of the screened drums, pistols, arms were found over there. Scanning helps a lot in detection of security threats to our country. Whatever container comes to us for screening, we subject them to thorough screening and nothing is left to the chance.
Over the years, Indian Customs has played an integral role at all international airports in facilitating passengers and cargo movement. Welcoming legitimate passengers in true Indian spirit of Atithi Devo Bhava, while looking out for black sheep who tend to dodge their watchful eyes. There is always somebody taking a chance with the system only to be disappointed again and again.
The officer detected 7 adhesive raped packets containing brown colored substances in powder form, kept discreetly concealed inside a Zama musical keyboard. The heroin is reportedly worth 1.5 crore in the international market.
हाँ जी, पंजाब साइड से आएगी। 2 लोग बैठे होंगे उसके अंदर। हाँ, 10:30 के आसपास आनी चाहिए ये। ठीक है, एक ड्राइवर हुआ, एक और इसके साथ बैठा हुआ। उस गाड़ी को कुछ नारकोटिक ड्रग्स वो दिल्ली लाएंगे। तो ये गाड़ी जैसे यहाँ से क्रॉस करेगी, इसके साथ में एक मोटरसाइकिल पे भी 2 लोग होंगे। तो सिंगू बॉर्डर पे क्रॉस करके हमें यहाँ पे से थोड़ा सा आधा किलोमीटर आगे एक ये नाका लगाना है। उसी समय गाड़ी से निकल के चारों तरफ से गाड़ी को घेर लेना है।
These raids are routine exercise for officers of Directorate of Revenue Intelligence who are resolute to apprehend contraband items that could harm the country. As an apex customs intelligence and investigative agency, DRI applies its resources in targeting, sharing, and tasking of intelligence with other national and global agencies. DRI has won international praise for effectively cracking down on money laundering, known as Hawala, in this part of the world.
Customs is tasked to prevent the smuggling of the most topical one is the fake Indian currency notes. Then there is the narcotics, drugs, heroin coming in ketamine, a party drugs going out. So these are the agency functions of the customs. Now DRI collects the intelligence and disseminates it to the customs field formations.
Siliguri holds immense strategic importance because of its proximity to international borders. Over the years, smugglers are on a constant endeavor to slip in and out of the country contraband articles and deadly weapons with an intention to destabilize the country using this corridor. But they have failed to circumvent these custom officials.
रेड सैंडलवुड जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं यूनाइटेड नेशन द्वारा प्रोटेक्टेड स्पीशीज है, रेड डेटा बुक में ये शामिल है। रेड सैंडलवुड का जो स्मगलिंग है आंध्रा के बॉर्डर से ये लोग चल के और वेस्ट बंगाल उड़ीसा होते हुए और बांग्लादेश बॉर्डर पर ले जाने की कोशिश करते हैं। एंटिक्स और ड्रग्स का जो प्रॉफिट मार्जिन ज़्यादा होने की वजह से उसी पैसे से स्मगलर लोग जो है आर्म्स खरीदते हैं और देश के विभिन्न भागों में भेजते हैं और इसलिए हमारे लिए ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट कॉरिडोर है।
13 अप्रैल 1983 को मैं अपने टीम के साथ में समुद्र सर्वेलेंस पे निकला था और उसी बीच हम लोग को मालूम हुआ कि कुछ सस्पेक्टेड जहाज़ आने वाले हैं। तो हमारी टीम बोट से निकली और उस जहाज़ की तलाश में हम बहुत दूर निकल गए। करीब 10 किलोमीटर जब हम अंदर समुद्र में पहुँचे तो हमें एहसास लगा कि बोट में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ गया है। इसकी परवाह किए बगैर हम आगे बढ़ते रहे, साथ ही साथ उस गड़बड़ी को रिपेयर करने की भी कोशिश करते रहे। ये हमारा दुर्भाग्य था कि हम ठीक नहीं कर पाए और हमारी बोट डूब गई। इस दुर्घटना में मैंने अपने 7 साथियों को खो दिया। इस बात का हमें बहुत दुख हुआ, लेकिन आज भी हम पूरे जोश और खरोश के साथ में अपने देश की सेवा में लगे हुए हैं, क्योंकि ज़िंदगी चलने का नाम है, रुकने का नहीं।
Indian Customs has lost some of its brave officers in the course of their duty. Their act of courage, patriotism, and selflessness has only encouraged officers who dedicate their work as a tribute to their brave colleagues. Equipped with some of the finest and sophisticated speedboats, they continue to patrol the seas as their predecessors, but with more momentum and passion. Rajasthan, the land of sun-kissed Thar Desert, shares more than 1,000-kilometer long desert stretch as a border with Pakistan. In this land of shifting sand dunes, customs officers have kept a hawk's eye on this sensitive border state. After being suspended for 41 years since 1965, when the Thar Express resumed its journey, it was called the Peace Train. Linking the countries through Munabao in India and Kokrapar, a border town in Pakistan. Indian Customs is back in action in Munabao. While performing their customary role, customs officials come across myriad emotions of people from diverse background to which they adapt very fast. Officers of Indian Customs are preparing for the arrival of Samjhauta Express. Another train connecting India and Pakistan, which rolls in twice a week through the welcoming gates of India at Atari near Amritsar in Punjab. The train has earned a rare distinction of covering the shortest route in the world, chugging along a distance of just under 3 kilometers. But even with this shorter route, Samjhauta Express is often used to ship narcotics and fake Indian currency notes. So, customs authorities are fully alert here, following every tip-off from their sources, and have often successfully apprehended passengers carrying any deadly shipment. The Attari Border Road Link offers one of the shortest routes between the two nations. The customs here is organized to facilitate the trade by regulating cargo movement and passenger clearance.
अफगानिस्तान में लूट किया स्पिन बोल तक, वहाँ से ये ड्राई फ्रूट लूट किया, वहाँ से जब लूट किया तो फिर अब पाकिस्तान आया, फिर हम रास्ते में 2-3 दिन लगाया और फिर यहाँ गया, कल इधर पहुँचे। ज़बरदस्त खातिर करता है, कोई तकलीफ नहीं दिया है कस्टम वालों ने। यहाँ आ गया, इधर अपना वो कागज़ी दफ्तरी कार्रवाई किया, फिर इसका सील तोड़ दिया, फिर लूट शुरू हुई।
At 14,200 feet, Nathula is the world's highest land customs station. It is an important land trade route between India and China, who share an inseparable legacy of the famous Silk Route. After remaining closed for more than 40 years, the pass opened for trade in 2006, giving a boost to Indo-China trade relations. The extreme weather conditions at Nathula, coupled with a difficult terrain, makes this place a difficult one to function.
वेदर यहाँ का तो बहुत ठंडा है। मानसून जून से स्टार्ट होता है, जून से ऑलमोस्ट सितंबर अक्टूबर तक रहता है। देयर इज रेनफॉल एवरी डे। और यहाँ विंटर में तो ये टेम्परेचर तो कभी-कभी नाइट में तो -10 तक भी चले जाता है। आई मीन लाइफ इज रियली हार्ड ओवर हियर।
The largest land customs station in the country in terms of trade, Petropol, handles the maximum traffic that not only facilitates trade but also handles the international passenger movement between India and Bangladesh. The Kolkata-Dhaka bus service brings international passengers, and the task at hand is demanding, as the clearance of these people has to be flawless and friendly.
Have a nice stay over here in India.
Amidst a natural splendor on the Indo-Bangladesh border, Bursora in Meghalaya remains an isolated post for the customs officials stationed here. Almost 200 trucks carrying limestone and coal pass through customs checkpoint every day. For the customs officials here, absence of civic amenities and distance from families makes survival a big struggle. 110 kilometers from Imphal, the state capital of Manipur, Moreh began operating as a land customs station in 1995 on the Indo-Myanmar border. The movement of goods between the Indian city of Moreh and the Myanmari city of Tamu are mostly on the barter system of trade. This, however, does not scale down the scope for illegal infiltration and entry of contrabands. Insurgency further aggravates challenges, making the officers live under an incessant shadow of guns. Raxaul, a land customs station at the Indo-Nepal border. Indian customs, in consonance with the foreign policy, provides safe transit passage to landlocked Nepal for its trade with other countries through customs transit declaration through this LCS. This long stretch of porous borderline between India and Nepal meanders for about 1700 kilometers, and patrolling and preventing cross-border smuggling is extremely challenging here. Customs officers are expected to be experts in all matters pertaining to customs, excise and narcotics. National Academy of Customs, Excise and Narcotics NASN is the training ground for these officers in the making, preparing them for the demanding task on the field.
The officers should be not only tax collectors but trade facilitators. With this motive, we are training them. The other aspect we look at is that they should be able to understand the economic laws of the country so that they are able to act as proper protectors of the economic frontiers and the implementers of all the laws of the country on commodities crossing the Indian border.
With a global affiliation with World Customs Organization, NASN functions as the ACE Training Center for Asia-Pacific region, also incorporating tailor-made courses for the SAARC nations' customs officers. Rigorous training and vast experience of these officers in the field makes them sought after in international organizations like United Nations, Commonwealth and Central Bureau of Investigation. The tradition of encouraging sports goes back to the early days of the Indian customs. One of the legends of Indian hockey, Leslie Claudius, owned the distinction of being an ace player in the world-beating Indian team that won 3 consecutive Olympic gold medals from 1948 to 1956. Retired from Indian Customs as an assistant commissioner, he gets nostalgic while sharing his story from the days of his association with the department.
Actually, I've got no words to express my gratitude to the Calcutta Customs. I mean, I spent some glorious moments, not only playing hockey, but glorious moments with the entire department. Unforgettable.
The man who coached the Indian women's hockey team to the heights of sporting brilliance in the 2003-2004 Afro-Asian and Asia Cup, Meer Ranjan Negi, is also a part of the Indian Customs. Known as the Queen of the Tracks, Anju Bobby George is as dynamic as an officer with the Indian Customs, an association she is extremely proud of. Serving the nation with unabated enthusiasm, these resolute men and women of Indian Customs have contributed to the flourishing international trade and reinforced national security through their services. They have come a long way, and yet they remain relentless as guardians of the economic frontiers of the country.
We are quite confident that our department shall continue to serve the nation and the society with the highest standard of efficiency and sincerity.
With valor in their hearts and grit in their actions, tomorrow is yet another day in the line of duty.
मेरे संग चल